For question number 14, we are going to solve an equation with log. Here we have log base 6 of x plus 1 plus log base 6 of 2x plus 1 is equal to 2. Whenever we are trying to solve an equation with logs, we have to first make sure to combine all the logs together into just one single log. And here we have two logs, and they are adding. And the way to condense addition of two logs is that we can first write down just one log, and that's what we want, and open the big parentheses. And let's look at what do we have inside of the first log. For the first log, I have x plus 1. And for the second log, I have 2x plus 1. I'm going to draw them inside into these big parentheses, and then they will be multiplying with each other. So, I have x plus 1 times 2x plus 1. Just like that. This is how we condense two logs if they're adding. Addition will be condensed into multiplications inside of the logs. And that equals to the number 2. And now, we have the log by itself. The way to get rid of the log is to use exponents. We have to change this to the exponent form. And I recommend you guys to do this. I see that I have log base 6. So I will take the base 6. I will write down this as 6 as the base. That is the exponent. I will do that to the right hand side as well. I will write down 6 as the base, the 2 as the exponent. If I do that, the 6 and the log 6 will cancel each other out. Okay? The base have to match. Okay? And then what I will end up with is just the inside right here. I will have x plus 1 times 2x plus 1. That will equal to 6 to the second power. Let me write this down as 6 to the second power. Okay. So this is the necessary change that we have to make before we can proceed. Okay. That's how we can get rid of the log. And now it seems like we should do the FOIL for this one, right? For the left hand side. So let's do that. X times 2x, I have 2x squared, and x times 1, I have plus 1x, just x, and 1 times 2x, plus 2x, and 1 times 1 is just plus 1. And on this side, I have 6 squared, and that's just 36. And now we have the equation with x to the second power, right? The higher degree equations, quadratic equations specifically. And the best bet for us to do this is that let's make one side equal to 0. We can do that by minus 36 here. And I'll do that right here as well, underneath the 1. And that, let's see. Here we have 2x squared. And I see that I have x plus 2x. These two can be combined into positive 3x. Here we have 1 minus 36, which will be minus 35. That equals to 0. So, combined terms, I make one side equal to 0 already. Now, we are going to factor this out. And the way that I usually like to factor this out is to draw the tic-tac-toe box and just kind of do a quick guess and check on this. To get 2x squared, I should have 2x and x. Because 2x times x, that will give us 2x squared. And to get negative 35, we have choices. 7 times negative 5, or negative 7 times 5, even 35 times negative 1, and things like that. So we have a few combinations that we have to check. And let me just try, let's do negative 7 times 5. Negative 7 times 5 will be negative 35. Okay? And this is just my guess. Okay? I just want to put this down as my guess. And now the way to check this is, I will take 2x, multiply with the 5 like this. Okay? 2x times 5 gives us 10x. And I will take negative 7, and I will multiply that with x. That will be minus 7x. Okay? So that's how the check is. And at the end, if we combine 10x with negative 7x, we get positive 3x. And you see that this is positive 3x, which is the same as this right here. And we got our correct combinations. So this is how we're going to factor it. So when you cross multiply, that's for the check. But for the answer, for the factor for this, let me just write this down here. For the factor, you have to read it across. The first factor will be 2x minus 7. Okay. 2x minus 7. And the second factor is x plus 5. That still equals to 0. Okay. And now I can just set the first parentheses, the first factor, 2x minus 7 equals to 0. Or the second parentheses, x plus 5 equals to 0. And I can solve this the normal way. I can add 7 on both sides here. I get 2x equals to 7. Divide by 2 on both sides. I get x equals to 7 over 2. And for this one, all I need to do is subtract 5 on both sides. I can get x is equal to negative 5. Okay. And now it seems like we went through all these calculations and we got 2 answers. However, if the original equation is logs, has logs, if it's a log equation, you really have to check with your answers because maybe one of these wouldn't work also. And I will just kind of tell you. You have to know that this is the important note that we have to be careful. When you have a log, you have to make sure that you cannot have a negative numbers inside. Whenever you see log with a negative number inside, regardless what base it is, what base this is, doesn't matter the base. But once the negative number is inside of the log, this wouldn't work. And I claim that x is equal to negative 5. It's not the answer because if I plug in this, if I want to check this answer, I plug in this into the original equation. Let me just write it down right here for you guys. I will get log base 6. And here originally is x. X is negative 5. You see that we have negative 5 plus 1. And perhaps let me just write down the whole thing. Log base 6 of 2 times negative 5 plus 1 equals to 2. Like this, right? But you see that it doesn't really matter what happened here. But as long as you see we have negative 5 plus 1, which is log base 6 of negative 4. Once they have a negative number inside of the log, the whole thing is ruined. So x is equal to negative 5. It's not one of the answers to this. I have to get rid of this. That's not one of the answers, because this right here is bad. And if you plug in 7 over 2 into the original equation, 7 over 2 plus 1 is positive. 2 times 7 over 2 plus 1, it's also positive. So the only answer is x is equal to 7 over 2. This is the only answer to this.